Yes, ma'am, we are live.
Just 1 second.
Yes, ma'am, we are live.
Just 1 second. All yours, Samson.
Okay, thanks, Shruti. Hello and welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. How are you? Are you well? Great. Wonderful. I welcome you to this session for 1 hour. And in this 1 hour session, we will be talking about delivering customer experience over satisfaction. As the title of this session is, we will understand what is customer experience and what is customer satisfaction. And this will be more of an interactive session, all right, where I will be asking you a few questions and you can be, talking and sharing your answers. Okay. I will be doing more of talking and less of any PowerPoint. Okay, because when you put on the PowerPoint on a live thing, then it is only the screen that you see and you don't see the people. So I will appreciate if everyone who has joined in, if you can put your cameras on, all the participants, if you can just put your camera on, it looks more engaging when you see the faces rather than the black screen, which doesn't look nice. So if you can put your camera on, that will be very very well. Thank you for the ones who are just putting their camera on. Okay, great. So let's move on and let us understand. I will ask you two questions. And the two words that I want to give you today is experience and satisfaction. Okay. So just tell me, when you hear the word experience or anubhav, what we call in Hindi, all right, what comes in your mind? What do you think about it? What adjectives or what kind of words come in your mind when you hear this word experience or anubhav? Any thoughts? So if you can unmute and just share your answer, or if you want to put it on chat, you can put it on the chat group as well.
So can I go?
Yeah. Okay. So Rahul is saying learning. So when you say experience, it is learning. Thank you, Rahul. Anybody else?
Yes, sir. I think your mistakes and, of course, learning also.
So rectifying your mistakes and learning from your mistakes. Okay. All right.
Rectifying your mistakes and start learning.
Rectifying your mistakes and you start learning from your mistakes. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank you. So that is experience. Okay. A lot of times we hear this word in the context of life as well. All right. So we know this saying, it is an important part of life. So anubhav or experience is very important part of life. Thank you so much. Now I'll give you the second word here. The second word is satisfaction. All right. What comes to your mind when you hear this word satisfaction?
So can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Satisfaction is when we are achieving something, and that that we are achieved as our satisfaction.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prashant. So as Prashant is saying that when we achieve something, we feel satisfied. All right. When we are able to achieve what we are desiring for, that is what is satisfaction. All right. Thank you, Prashant. And yes, so satisfaction, feeling contented is similar feelings. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, if my point of view, अगर हम sales के तौर पे देखें, if अगर customer दोबारा again अगर हम service provide कर रहे हैं और customer दोबारा आ रहा है and again आ रहा है, that is called satisfaction, I think.
Okay. So जैसे ज्ञान ने बताया that if the customer is coming back to us, again and again, and he's taking a service, that can mean that this customer is a satisfied customer, and that is one reason he's coming back to us to take our service. Cool. Thanks so much, Gyan. So thanks everyone for sharing these, experience about these two words. Okay. So when we talk about in the customer service thing, okay, experience and satisfaction are two very important elements. Okay. And it is important. Somebody switched on the whiteboard, I suppose. Okay, yeah, now I can see you. Yeah, so satisfaction and experience when we talk about, okay, satisfaction typically is very transactional. It is momentary, okay. It is as simple as like, when you ask for, let's say, a chai, I'm taking an example of a chai or a tea, which is a very common thing that we are able to relate, in the Indian household. Okay. Now, when we have chai and it's a good chai, a good tea, kadak masala chai that we say, all right, we feel very satisfied. We say, na, wow, kya chai hai, maza aa gaya. We feel so satisfied, so contented. But if the chai is not very good, if it has too much of water, or if it is, not, if it is too sweet also, so we don't like. So we sometimes say, yaar, maza nahi aaya chai mein, all right? Satisfaction is something which is, momentary, okay? Satisfaction is very transactional. When I say transactional, satisfaction is something when you when you encounter something and you are happy or unhappy about it, that is the end of it, that is satisfaction. Okay. And this is not lasting. So if I enjoyed the chai, all right, I will forget about this chai in another 2 to 3 hours, and I will be, doing my regular things. I will not be very excited about it. Okay. So that is satisfaction. Till a few years back, organizations were focusing more on satisfaction. And that is why there are a lot of times you get to hear this term customer satisfaction score or customer satisfaction survey, where organizations, were focused on the satisfaction part of it. However, nowadays, organization for past 5 to 10 years, within last 10 years, organizations have moved from satisfaction to delivering experience. Okay. Now, when we say experience, okay, so you had told me that it is about learning from mistakes. It is a learning process. So that's from a life perspective. Okay. However, if I give you a situation here, okay, let me give you a live situation wherein you are visiting a restaurant, okay, with your family. Okay, you have gone out on a dinner or a lunch or some birthday party, something, and you're visiting a restaurant there to have a meal. Okay. Now, at the restaurant, you experience a lot of things. All right. Can you tell me what are the various things that you see or observe at a restaurant? Anybody? Anyone can mention.
The food. And
Sorry?
Food. The food.
Food. Yes, the food is
What
there.
type of food and service? What about what they are providing for customer? How their service is good or bad? And customers are satisfaction or not? That.
Okay, so what is the food? So food is one element in a restaurant. The second is how the customer is served. All right, so whoever is coming and serving the customer, how is it? Okay, so that sets the tone. Anything else that you notice at a restaurant?
Welcome. How they welcome.
Okay. So while you reach, okay,
Yes.
did somebody, greeted you? Did somebody escorted you? Did somebody welcomed you? Okay. So that is another observation.
Sir, how is their behavior? उनका behavior कैसा होगा customers के साथ?
Mhm,
उनकी satisfaction कैसी मिलेगी? वो चीजें matter
mhm.
करती हैं.
Right. Thank you, Rifat. So as she said, how is the overall behavior of the staff? How did the staff behave, with the customer? Okay. So that also matters a lot. Okay. Now that is when you visit a restaurant, the reason I gave you the restaurant example, because that is a very common example we all can relate and understand. And that is the place where you act. Can somebody please mute? There's a background sound coming. So if you're not talking in the session, you can just mute yourself so that it doesn't disturb the session. All right. So what I was saying, that in a restaurant, when we visit, there is a lot of experience formation things that we observe. It is the food, it is somebody greeting at the restaurant, how are we being served at the table, and so on and so forth. That is what we all notice and see. Okay. Now let me ask you this. How is our experience formed? So few things from here onwards that I will talk are going to be very important, because they not only help you develop your customer service skills alone, but it also helps you in other aspects of delivering or building experience. So how do we experience anything? Any question, any thoughts around it? हमें जब भी कुछ चीज अनुभव करते हैं, हम किस तरह उसका अनुभव करते हैं? How do we experience?
And at the end of the living with that restaurant, we are experience how the restaurants treat us, and
Okay.
how their behavior. That
Okay.
is our experience.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prashant. So yes.
Thank you.
So when we leave the restaurant, we leave with a experience, and that experience typically decides that whether I will recommend this experience to my friends and family and other people or not. Yes or no? Because if I don't enjoy my time, if I don't like the restaurant, I will ideally not recommend. But if I really enjoyed, I really had fun, I was served well, then definitely I will recommend. Okay. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
my question to you is, how do we develop experience? How do we experience anything? That is my question.
Sir, how fast if we are getting some dinners or meals, how fast if we are getting it quickly, and we will be surprised by the quickness of the restaurant. That is an
Okay.
experience which we will remember.
Okay. So as Vinod is saying, how fast we are served, how quickly
And
the
the
meal is
taste-
prepared and it is served to us.
Taste of the food is
The
very
second
important.
thing, the taste of the food. Okay. So Vinod has said, how fast it is served. Then second, he has said, the taste of the food, how the taste of the food is. Okay.
And
Anything
the
else?
cost of the food. Cost of the food.
The price of the food. All right. The price
Yes, price.
definitely, plays a very important role, because without, if it is not price effective, then definitely I will think twice before going to
Yes.
that place. Okay. So the price is one thing. Okay. Any other thoughts? How an experience is formed?
Type of cuisines. Veg,
The
non-veg.
variety. Okay. The variety, the
Varieties.
vegetarian, non-vegetarian, South Indian,
Yes.
Marathi food, different type of cuisines. Okay, so this is how our experience are formed. Okay, and let me tell you, and this is a universal way of experience formation. Most of the time, we just kind of like overlook it, and it has become very significant in the customer customer service delivery area, that now when we are talking about customer experience, we should know how the experience is formed. Okay, what is our five senses? So we all have five senses, right? Okay, now what are those five senses? So we can see, we can hear, we can taste, all right, we can smell, and we can feel. All right, these are the five senses. So see, smell, taste, hear, and feel. So these are the five senses. Now, my dear friends, when we talk about experience building, okay, not many people understand, but what experience formation takes place is these five senses. Because why did I give you the restaurant example right in the beginning? Because the moment you reach a restaurant, okay, whenever we go, how is our experience or impression of that particular thing is formed? It is by these five senses, yes or no? All right. So
Yes,
when
sir.
we see something good, we feel, oh, this is a good place. But if the place is not very good, if the site is not very good, we say, no, this is not a very good place. And the same thing goes about, when you smell a food, typically it is said that, you eat with your eyes and your nose first. All right. And the reason we say, the chefs or other people who are good at cooking, why they say it is because you enjoy the food first by looking at it or first by smelling at it. Okay, when it looks good and when it smells good, then you eat it and then you taste it. So therefore, taste alone is not contributing. All right, it is also the sight and the smell that is contributing in the experience building. Do we understand this? This is a very critical aspect or a factor in delivering customer experience, my friends. Because if we are unaware about how the experience is created, the experience is created by these five fundamental senses. Okay, are we clear about this? Do we understand the significance and importance about this aspect? Okay. And I will again repeat. So by seeing, by hearing, by smelling, by feeling, and by eating, that is tasting, that is how we create a experience. Okay. Now, in the restaurant example, a lot of you said that the food matters. It is the how we are served at the table that matters. Or somebody greeted me at the entrance, that matters. Of course, i'll give you a I'll give you an instance in a restaurant when you are gone. Okay, I remember, once I went to this Madras cafe here in Connaught Place, very famous place. So people who are in Delhi may know about it. Very old and very famous cafe here. Their filter coffee is very famous. So my wife and I went there, and it was just during the demonetization phase. It happened, wherein the cash and all that thing was not happening, and mostly it was Paytm and UPI and all these instruments had started coming into market. So we were out for a shopping, and my wife said, let's go and have some filter coffee, and we went to Madras cafe. So we had coffee and we enjoyed it. We sat there. It was all very good. We enjoyed. Now what happened, once we were done with our coffee and all, and we were just about to leave, so I asked the waiter that, can you get me the bill? And he got the bill. So whatever the amount was, I told him, can I pay by Paytm? Now this waiter, this person respond, no sir, we only accept cash. There is no Paytm, no card. And I was like, what are you talking? All right, we are in the time of demonetization. The cash crunch is happening everywhere. And either, at least if not the Paytm, you could have taken a card. I asked him that, I have a card, you can take it from the card. And he said, no sir, it's only cash that we take. Now tell me, as a customer, when I'm sitting there, will it make or enhance my experience, or will it break my experience? What do you think?
Break
Of course,
experience.
it will totally break.
It will break my experience. Even though the coffee was amazing, the place is very good, very authentic, filter coffee, very authentic ambience, everything is amazing, and that is why we went there. However, the payment step, so in my entire journey of the restaurant, when I went there, in my entire journey, just before, as I was about to move out of my play of my after my order, after my coffee, all right, I had to pay, but they are not accepting any payment except cash. Now that is where my experience breaks. Okay. Now, why did I bring this situation or this instance in front of you? The next step, when we move into building customer survey, customer experience champions. Okay. Now we understood what is customer satisfaction and experience. What is the difference between these two? So customer experience is more permanent. It is long lasting impression. It is very emotionally connected. People feel very connected emotionally. Okay. Then we talked about how the experience is formed. The experience is formed by 5 senses. Now, the next step is, how can I ensure that I deliver customer experience all the time or most of the time? Okay. And that is by identifying customer touch points. Okay. Now, this is the second important thing that I'm telling you, customer touch points. Now, what is a customer touch point? A customer touch point is nothing, but it is that direct connect or interaction where the customer is interacting with your product or service or with you. It's that connect. Do you understand this? Okay. So when I went to a restaurant, what were my touch points? My touch points was, when I entered the restaurant, somebody greeted me, somebody welcomed me or not. When I went to the table, somebody came on time and took my order or not, or I had to wait for a long time. I had to ask someone to come. All right. All these phases in the journey of my visit to a restaurant are touch points, and all of us go through those touch points. And in every transaction, in every action that we do, my friends, okay, there are touch points. So for example, if we take this class, this online session, this webinar only, all right, there are various touch points here. Okay. So as I can see, Vaishali is here and she's signing the entire session for us. All right. Why is she there? Because she is playing a crucial role of creating an experience for our friends who need sign language interpretation. Do you understand that? If she is not there, all right, then the participants who need that kind of a support, all right, this communication or this session will make no sense. So this will be like a zero experience for them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
These are called as touch points. I asked you that, if you can switch on your cameras, that will be nice. We can look at each other. Okay. I could have, just put my camera off and lectured the entire session. You could have put your camera off and, heard the entire session. That would have not created any engagement. But I can see some faces, you can see me, that creates an engagement with people, and that's creating an experience for all of us. Okay. So the second important thing in building the experience is identify or know your customer touch points. And these touch points will be around these 5 senses that I have taught or that I have shared. Okay. Because when you are in a restaurant, okay, nowadays, if you go to any restaurant nowadays, you have all kind of payment methods available. You have UPI, you have debit cards, credit cards, Paytm, Phone Pay, GPay, whatever pay you ask, everything is there. Even Even a sabji wala or a doodh wala these days have, Paytm available. That is how it has become. And why this has become such a common element these days? It is all because to deliver experience to the customer. Okay. And therefore, identifying your customer touch points, the very simple method is in my customer journey. Okay, when I am interacting with my customer, how and what are the points where I'm touching my customer that is building his experience. So for example, let's say in customer service experience, in customer call center, all right, you are talking to a customer. Okay. Now customer cannot see you because it's a phone call. Customer cannot see you. Okay. Can you tell me which senses are operating, on a customer care call? What do you think? What out
Sir,
of which
hearing,
5
sir.
senses?
Sir,
So hearing is active during that time because customer cannot see you. All
Yeah.
right. Customer cannot, so taste is not there, feel is not there. Okay. So customer can hear you. All right. Now I said feel is not there. Do you agree with me that feel is not there? Customer cannot feel you. What do you think? Can customer feel you or customer cannot feel you?
Sir, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
If
I
we
am
can
asked.
feel,
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, please.
Sir.
So Rahul is
Sir,
saying
if we
yes,
can,
they can only listen to
Sir.
us. Yes, sorry, please go ahead. Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, if we can feel by seeing, अगर हम देखने से अगर हम feel कर सकते हैं तो, in my point of view, सुनने से भी feel किया जा सकता है.
Okay. So
customer को
Gyan is
मतलब
saying,
उसको देखने से feel किया जा सकता है तो voice से भी feel किया जा सकता है.
okay, correct. So just like as we can see each other, some cameras on and we can see each other. So it creates a feel for us. In a similar fashion, when you listen to someone, all right, you get a feel from a person, So when we hear, someone speaking or talking, don't we feel, oh, that's such a soothing, conversation this person is doing, this person is talking so nicely. Or sometimes we say, oh, he's talking so rudely, he's talking, not in a nice manner, badtamizi kar raha hai, badi achhi tarah nahi. And you don't like that conversation. We don't like that conversation. Okay. If here on this session, if I don't bring this example, if I don't, have these question answers, if we don't do this, interactivity is not there, and I just keep talking all the time, you will feel like there is no engagement, there is no conversation happening. Okay. So even when we hear or when we listen to a conversation, okay, we are able to feel about another person. Okay. And therefore, when we are, in a customer experience or a customer delivery job, all right, when we are in a call center, when we talk to our customers, when we solve their problems, when we answer their queries in a call center environment, they are able to feel us. They are able to understand our tone. When we talk about the feel element in hearing, it is all about our tone. Okay. How is the tone of a person? So right now, let's say if I say good morning, all right, if you say good morning to me or good evening to me, I very nicely say, hi, good evening, Prashant, how are you? Good evening, Vinod, how are you? How are you doing? All right, you feel nice. There is a polite tone, there is a very warm tone, and you feel good. Oh, this person is talking nicely. But if you wish me, hello sir, good evening, and I say, yeah, good evening, okay, and my tone is very dry, my tone is not very pleasant, my tone is it doesn't have any emotion, it's just like flat tone I'm talking, you will feel like, "Arey yaar, ye aadmi kaisa hai?"
Yes, sir.
It will be difficult to connect or
Yes.
communicate with this individual.
Yes.
Do you
Sir.
understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And And therefore, in a customer service call, it is not only listening that is happening, or our hearing sense alone is not operating, but it is also our feeling sense. Because understand, we don't feel physically, because whenever we feel anything physically, it is our mind that sends it. Do you understand this? Okay, so a physical touch or a feel, the mind interprets that, okay, I touch something hot or I touch something cold. In the similar fashion, when I hear a tone, so if I hear a pleasant tone, my mind, has a positive effect on it, and I like to talk. But if my mind doesn't pick up a positive, tone, or it picks up a rude tone or unpleasant tone or disinterested tone, okay, then then the consumer will feel, or the customer will feel, well, is this agent really interested to talk to me or not? Do you understand this, guys? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do we mean by customer touch points? Customer touch points is very simple, where you and customer are coming in contact with each other. Okay, that is customer touch point, because any simple touch point, all right, any kind of a touch point creates an impression, creates an experience. Okay, I'll give you one more very common example. All right, हम सबों के घरों में मेहमान आते हैं. We have visitors, we have guests at our home. Yes or no? Okay. During festival times, there are more guests or more visitors who come. Okay. Now, when we think about it, try to draw a picture in your mind. Okay. So when you have a guest at home, the bell rings, ting tong, and you go and you open the door. Okay. And somebody is standing, your guest, your friend or family or somebody whom is standing there. The moment you open the door, how do you behave? How do you react to that? All right. The moment you see this person, the moment you open the door and you see this person, you say, hello, good evening, namaste, aaiye, kaise hain aap? You warmly welcome the person inside the house, na? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is a touch point. That is a touch point. You understand? Why, in our house, we have something called as drawing room or a living room. हम हमारे घर में ड्राइंग रूम और लिविंग रूम को हमेशा साफ सुथरा और टाइडी क्यों रखते हैं? There is a reason, because if any unexpected guest come to our place at that time, all right, ऐसा बिल्कुल कचरे जैसा फैला हुआ नहीं होना चाहिए. हो सकता है हमारे बेडरूम बुरी हालत में रहते होंगे, हो सकता है हमारे बेडरूम में कपड़े ही फैले हैं, सामान फैला हुआ है, बट कभी भी हमारा गेस्ट को हम बेडरूम में नहीं लेके जाते हैं, या हम उसको गेस्ट रूम में या लिविंग रूम में या ड्राइंग रूम में बैठाते हैं. And why the drawing room we keep it clean and tidy all the time? Because that is my second touch point. So the moment guests walk into your house, wo jaise hi andar aate hain, you make them sit in the drawing room, in the living room. That's the second touch point. And how is the condition of that room, determines, how well are you in terms of entertaining or receiving the visitors or the guests. कभी ऐसे होता है ना, when men are single, when bachelor living जब होती है, ठीक है, तो घर की हालत बिल्कुल बुरी होती है. So single men here on the group may be able to relate. All right. When single men bachelor living working के लिए होते हैं, घर की हालत बहुत बुरी होती है. क्यों? क्योंकि एक so called notion है that men cannot keep home nice and clean and tidy, and therefore it needs to be clean. So that's a touch point. So once the guest has come in, you have made him sit nicely. All right, आप क्या करते हैं? गर्मी का टाइम है, सबसे पहले आप फैन ऑन करते हैं, आप AC ऑन करते हैं, you put the fan on, you put the AC on. Why are you doing all this? That's the third touch point. You want to make the customer feel comfortable. Customer should not feel warm. गर्मी नहीं लगनी चाहिए, पसीना नहीं आना चाहिए. तो आप सबसे पहले फैन ऑन करते हैं या एसी ऑन करते हैं to make the customer feel comfortable. That's another touch point. Then you ask the customer, what do you want to have? All right. सबसे पहले हम visitor को एक glass पानी offer करते हैं, ठंडा पानी लेके आते हैं. That's another touch point. Then we ask him, would you like to have cold drink or tea or coffee or whatever? That's another touch point. Do you understand this? So I gave you a journey of a restaurant. I gave you a journey of a visitor or a guest at home. Okay. And in both these journeys, I have explained you how or what are touch points. Do you understand what are touch points? My dear friends, in order to deliver customer experience, in whatever area of work you are, चाहे आप retail में हो, customer service में हो, और किसी space में आप काम करते हैं, delivering customer experience can only be possible when you understand what does the customer is looking for, what does customer want. And touch points is very critical to know, because when you will know the touch points, then only you will be able to offer an experience. Okay. So we don't see Vaishali now. So maybe Harita, you can just check. Vaishali is not there. Somebody's putting, we can't see the interpreter.
Yeah, we'll just check, Samson.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I'll just wait for a few minutes till Vaishali comes on.
She dropped off, I think, because of an internet connection, trying to rejoin.
Okay. Any questions till this point? Anybody wants to ask any questions? So till Vaishali just comes back on. I don't want to progress because our friends may miss out. Any questions anybody wants to ask till this point? Are you able to understand what are we talking about? What's the difference between customer experience and satisfaction? How do we have experience built on? All right, so Vaishali is here. So how the experience is formed, and we discussed it is through these 5 senses that experience is built. And then we talked about customer touch points, that identifying or knowing the touch points is important, because when you know the touch points, then only you can do something. Okay. And when we talk about touch points, these touch points are created, or these touch points are the part of your senses, the 5 senses. That is how you and I observe and experience anything. All right. So these are the customer touch points. So any questions till this point? Any questions you want to ask? Are we good? All right. So we have come on the third and very important thing as well. So in this entire conversation of delivering customer experience journey, so there are like 3 important things. One is how the experience is formed, that we have discussed. Then the second is the customer touch points that we have talked about. Now the third and the equally important thing is experience is like an escalator. Okay. I hope all of us have seen an escalator. Malls mein jab jaate hain to wo automated stairs hame dikhti hain, which are called as escalators. Okay. Now escalators work, or they go in 2 directions. All right. How do escalators work? So escalators can go up also, and escalators can come down also. So escalators work 2 ways. So they go up and they come down. Remember this, my friends. Experience is always a downward experience, escalator. I'm saying this again. Experience is always a downward escalator. Now let me tell you, why is it a downward escalator? Okay, so let's say at home, all right, so your mother or your wife, she she makes some kind of a dish or some kind of a cuisine, very very nice. You just enjoy. हम लोगों का फेवरेट फूड होता है ना, मम्मी या हमारी पत्नियां बनाती है, तो कहते हैं ना ये आज आपका फेवरेट फूड है. Alright, so my son, my older son, he likes paneer a lot. Anything of paneer he likes. Alright, so now if my wife, his mother makes paneer, once she makes paneer, alright, he enjoys it. She makes it in a particular style. The second time, it is made in a same style. The third time it is made in the same style. The fourth time it is made in the same style. The fifth time it is made in the same style. What do you think? So if this is happening to you, you like paneer, and the paneer, is made in a certain way every time, the same style, the same taste, same everything. What will happen to you? What will you start feeling? Any thoughts?
बोर हो जाएगा खाके
क्या होगा?
खाके बोर हो जाएंगे
बोर हो जाएगा
हम बोर हो जाएंगे. हम
हाँ.
एक ही एक चीज खाते खाते हम बोर हो जाएंगे. And so when you had it for the first time, you said, wow, this is amazing. I just enjoy this, such amazing taste. You just enjoyed it. And your wife and your mother thought that, oh, this is how, my son or my husband or, whoever likes it. So she uses the same recipe every time to make it. Okay. However, the fifth or the sixth or the 10th or the 15th time, you feel like, अरे यार मम्मी, थोड़ा तो change करके बनाओ ना, इतने time से एक ही recipe का पनीर आप बना रहे हो. Yes or no? Or possibly you tell your wife or your sister, or even if you cook, all right. So even men also cook. I do a lot of cooking as well, although I do a lot of non-vegetarian cooking. I'm not very good at vegetarian cooking. So I do it, all right. The point I'm trying to make here is, when you talk about experience is a downward escalator, all right. When you have things happening in the same manner every time, all right, the same experience will slowly and slowly come down and further down, and it will diminish. So therefore, what is important to continue with a superior experience, all right, the important thing is that you have to keep innovating yourself. Do you understand that? You have to keep innovating yourself. So just like, if you have made, let's say, butter paneer masala in a certain recipe, okay, after a few times, you should be able to change a recipe. Okay. After some time, you should be able to add or remove or do something that it changes the taste. And when you have it next time, don't you say, oh, aaj ye kuch alag hai. It is different this time. Okay. Why, why do we love to visit same restaurant or same places time and again? Because they are able to deliver, a wow experience to the customers all the time. Okay. And this wow experience keeps the customer coming back. Okay. And that is very, very critical. Okay. The customer does not come back to you just because he's satisfied. Remember this, my friends. You may ask, then sir, so satisfaction se experience nahi banta hai kya? The series of satisfaction creates an experience. And therefore, every episode, every transaction that the customer comes to you for should be a wow experience. And when it is a wow experience for the customer, all right, the customer will keep coming back to you again and again. The customer is not, understand, the customer is not coming only with the brand name. The customer is only coming because of the experience that he gets. I'll give you another live example. If you ask me anytime, and this has happened with me a lot of times as well, if anybody asks me to buy any electronic product, AC, television, or whatever different kind of electronics are there, I always tell people, if you ask me, I will only tell you buy LG, no other product. Now, does that mean LG has given me something extra? LG has bribed me, or LG has, given me, something special? No, nothing special. The only reason I recommend LG is because whatever products that I have, so I have the very first LG product was a DVD player that I bought almost like, 15 years back, 16 years back. That DVD player still works. It still runs as if it's new. It still works. Every LG product that I had, some or the other time I had to get it, repaired, once it was a television, once it was something else. But with LG, I have always found two things very, very, very above satisfactory. That is, one, they have always been on time. And second, they've always been very transparent in giving me the information about, sir, itna price hai, itna visitation charges hai, itna aapko dena hoga. And every time, whether it is related with technician coming to my place, coming on time or not, it has always been very punctual. Whenever it has come with pricing, it has always been very economical than getting it done from anywhere outside. And the third is, whenever they give me a service, they are always following it up. So there is like a 1 month or up to a 3-month follow-up that they do to ensure that the product is running fine or not after the repair. And that has kind of made me a loyalist for LG. So I don't say that Panasonic is bad or Samsung is bad or any other brand is bad. I'm not saying that, but I have only experienced LG. Even my elder brother, once he called me up and he said, "Yaar, naya AC kharidna hai, kaun sa AC kharide?" And I told him, "Bhaiya, if you are asking me, I will tell LG, all right, even though it is expensive, than the other brands, but you can check out." Because my experience with LG has always been phenomenal. And that is big. I haven't tried with one product only. I've tried with range of LG products, and the sales service that I have received has always been phenomenal. And that made me a loyal customer for LG. Do you understand that? That is an example that I am giving to you. So as we discuss, 3 important things, in today's session, we are towards the end of it, and then I will open up for any Q&As, any question and answers that you may have. So how do we create an experience? The experience is formed by the 5 senses, all right? And therefore, the thing that is critical, when we know it is the 5 senses that form the experience, the second important thing is know your customer touch points. And when we talk about the 5 senses, what are those 5 senses? It is seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, and feeling. All right. With these 5 senses, all right, any consumer, any individual observes and creates an experience for himself or herself. All right. And the second is know the customer touch points. And the only way you can know the customer touch points is where the customer is connecting with you, where the customer is coming in contact with you. So if it is a customer care call, then it is through a call, how you are talking to the customer. So when you are sending the customer a technician or someone else, you are following it up with the customer. You are talking to the technician that he reaches. So you are ensuring that all the touch points of the customer are taken care of, and the customer is hand-holded at all the touch points. Okay, and all the options are available. And so that's the second important thing to remember when delivering customer experience. And the third important thing to deliver customer experience is always a downward escalator. All right. If you deliver the same experience, time and again, the customer experience slowly and gradually starts to come down, because as human beings, we like newness. we like refreshing things coming our way. It is not always the same thing that we like. Okay, so therefore, what you are doing for the customer, it could be anything. The way you talk, the way you conduct yourself, the way you present yourself, all these things, okay, matter a lot, because how you talk, what words you speak, all those are part of your actions, and you will only be able to decide on your actions when you know that it is your touch point and how do you want to improve on your touch point. So these are the three things that we discussed very briefly at a high level view of how we can develop and deliver customer experience to the customer over delivering a satisfaction. So experience is higher, it is long lasting, and it is permanent, and it makes your customer keep coming back to you again and again. So that is it from me for today. I'm happy to take any questions from you now. So any questions, any doubts, anything you want to ask, please feel free.
Thank you, sir. It was very wonderful session.
You're welcome. Thank you, Prashant.
Thank
Any questions, anyone?
Ashutosh has his hand up. I think he wants to ask a question.
Yes, Ashutosh, please go ahead.
Sir, I don't know you covered or not. I missed the session. Why every customer agent means जो BOP के जो agents होते हैं, why only they don't want to listen? वो सुनना नहीं चाहते, वो हमारे points को notes नहीं करना चाहते. Like if we are giving feedback to them, like this should be come in the future, means like feature request, and these are the issues. इवन दिस जो ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये बहुत बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों के साथ है. छोटी कंपनी की तो मैं बात ही नहीं कर रहा. जैसे ये हो गया, गूगल हो गया, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट हो गया, स्पॉटिफाई, लिंक्डइन, सैमसंग, सबके एजेंट्स ऐसे हैं. कोई एक दो एक्सेप्शनल होते हैं केसेस, जैसे एप्पल, जितना मैंने सुना है कि वो अच्छे हैं काफी, पर मैंने जो अपना पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस किया है, ये सारी की सारी जितनी भी कंपनी ली है मैंने, कोई सुनना ही नहीं चाहता इनमें. ट्रेनिंग तो ऐसा नहीं है इनकी अच्छी नहीं हुई होगी, ट्रेनिंग काफी अच्छी है, और ये भी नहीं है कि कहते हैं कि ये कंपनी इनको सैलरी अच्छी नहीं दे रही होगी, सैलरी अच्छी दे रही है.
श्योर आशुतोष, सो आपके सवाल का मैं जवाब दूंगा. इससे पहले मैं एक आपसे एक सिचुएशन पूछना चाहता हूँ. आपके घर में जो मेहमान आते हैं, ऑलराइट, सो व्हेन यू हैव विजिटर्स कमिंग एट योर प्लेस, ऑलराइट, इट इज हुज ओनरशिप to ensure that your customer या जो मेहमान आपके घर आ रहा है उसको एक अच्छी फीलिंग मिले? ये ensure करने की ओनरशिप किसके पास होती है?
जिसके पास पावर हो, जो सबसे बड़ा हो, घर में जिसकी चलती हो, ओनर.
नहीं तो एक बात आप बता, अगर आप बोल रहे हैं तो घर को सही साफ सुथरा रखने की जिम्मेदारी क्या सिर्फ पेरेंट्स की या माँ बाप की है, या हम जैसे बच्चों की भी है? जो ग्रोन अप बच्चे, छोटे बच्चों की मैं बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ग्रोन अप बच्चों की बात कर रहा हूँ.
नहीं, हमारी. मुझे लगा सर आप ओवरऑल पूछ रहे हो, मतलब सबसे ज्यादा जिम्मेदारी किसकी?
हाँ, so I'm not talking about the decision making thing in a family. I am talking a very simple thing कि जब हमारे घर में मेहमान आते हैं, जो हमारे घर का जो ड्राइंग रूम या लिविंग रूम होता है, उसको साफ सुथरा सुंदर टाइडी रखने की जिम्मेदारी किसकी होती है? हम सभी की होती है ना, मानते हैं आप ये? ठीक है. दैट मीन्स ओनरशिप किसकी है? हम में से हर एक की एज इंडिविजुअल्स, करेक्ट? नाउ इतना ध्यान रखिएगा. तो आपने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा कि ये जो कस्टमर सर्विस या कस्टमर कॉल सेंटर के एजेंट जो होते हैं, ये लोग क्यों नहीं करते हैं, आपने कुछ कंपनियों के भी नाम लिए. इतना ध्यान रखिएगा कि कोई भी कंपनी अपने कस्टमर सर्विस एजेंट्स को ये नहीं सिखाती है कि आप अपने कस्टमर का ध्यान नहीं रखिए या उनकी बात नहीं सुनिए. कोई कंपनी नहीं सिखाती. हर एक कंपनी ये ही ट्रेनिंग देती है कि आप कस्टमर की सुने, कस्टमर की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करें और कस्टमर को खुश रखें, हैप्पी रखें, सेटिस्फाइड रखें. हर एक कंपनी यही सिखाती है, क्योंकि आप किसी भी कंपनी की ट्रेनिंग में जाओगे तो आपको ये सब चीजें मिलेंगी वहां. द पॉइंट इज, जो चीज मैंने सीखी है उस चीज को इम्प्लीमेंट करने की ओननेस या ओनरशिप किसके पास है? मेरे पास. आप समझ रहे हैं मेरी बात?
Yes,
जिस
sir.
तरह घर को टाइडी रखने की जिम्मेदारी मेरी है, हम सब की है, मम्मी पापा की, दादा दादी की, या बड़ों की नहीं है, हमारी भी है। ठीक है, हमारे घर में छोटा मेरा जो 6 साल का बेटा है, वो इधर उधर कुछ चीजें फेंकता है, तो हम उसको बोलते हैं कि इसको उठा के अपनी जगह रखो, आपने खेला है तो अपने टॉयज को वापस अपनी जगह रखिए। तो ये सबकी जिम्मेदारी है। सो सिमिलरली जो भी चीज कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस में आप कस्टमर को डिलीवर करते हैं, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, ओनरशिप आपकी है। नाउ इफ यू मेक अ डिफरेंस, ओके, द कस्टमर विल एक्सपीरियंस द डिफरेंस। अगर हम एप्पल की बात करें तो एप्पल का टिम कुक आके नहीं देता है, हर एक कस्टमर को अटेंड नहीं करता है। कभी भी किसी भी कंपनी का सीईओ आके कुछ नहीं आपको देता है। ठीक है, अगर हम गूगल की बात कर रहे हैं तो सुंदर पिचाई आके कस्टमर को अटेंड नहीं करेगा। गूगल के एजेंट्स, जो कस्टमर सर्विस एजेंट्स होंगे, वही एक्सपीरियंस देंगे। नाउ द पॉइंट इज, ओनरशिप इज ऑन दोज एजेंट्स। आज हम आपको अच्छी अच्छी बातें सिखा सकते हैं, अच्छे स्किल्स हम सिखा सकते हैं। द पॉइंट इज, who has to implement those skills? It is you who is learning. If I am learning, it is me who is learning. Okay, so ऐसा कोई भी नहीं है जो implement, कंपनी के पार्ट पे फॉल्ट है। सिखाया सबको जाता है, सही चीज सबको बताई जाती है, बट इट इज द लैक ऑफ ओनरशिप। सो टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, if you are looking at that one word or one line answer, it is the lack of ownership of the customer service agent who was working on the floor. वो उन चीजों की ओनरशिप नहीं लेना चाहते। उनके लिए कस्टमर कॉन्वर्सेशन एक ट्रांजैक्शन की तरह ही काम करता है, कि कस्टमर खुश है, हैप्पी कर सकते हैं तो कर देंगे, नहीं होता है तो भैया नहीं होता है, हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते। आई होप आई एम
तो
एबल टू आंसर।
सर मैं ये सर उसमें थोड़ा सा एक और पूछना चाहूंगा उसमें, कि ऐसा एप्पल में क्या है कि वो डिलीवर कर पा रहे एजेंट्स, वो भी है तो अल्टीमेटली इंसान ही जो वहां पे एजेंट बैठे हैं, और सैमसंग या दूसरे ब्रांड में भी एजेंट जो बैठे हैं वो भी ह्यूमन है, पर ऐसा एप्पल में क्या है कि जो वो कर पा रहे हैं या वो दूसरे सवाल नहीं कर पा रहे, वो ऐसा क्या कर रही है कंपनी?
सो आशुतोष, ये तो मेरे को भी नहीं पता कि वो कंपनी अलग क्या कर रही है, बट वो जरूर कुछ ना कुछ कंपनी अलग कर रही होगी, जिस वजह से उनके जो कस्टमर्स हैं वो हाईली सेटिस्फाइड है एज कंपेयर टू एनी अदर कस्टमर्स। यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट? सो मैंने जैसा कहा, इट इज अबाउट द ओनरशिप। ऑलराइट, ओनरशिप ड्राइव करना बहुत जरूरी है। और ओनरशिप, अगर एज सिंपल एज, अगर मैं अपने घर को सही नहीं रखना चाहता हूं तो फिर मैं नहीं सही रखूंगा, चाहे मेरे को मम्मी पापा कितने ही बोल लें। ठीक है, मेरे रूम की हालत वैसी कूड़े जैसी रहेगी। द ओनरशिप ऑफ डूइंग समथिंग इज ऑन मी। नाउ इफ यू आस्क मी कि एप्पल ऐसा अलग क्या कर रहा है जो सैमसंग नहीं कर रहा, so possibly I will not have that answer.
मैं सिर्फ एग्जांपल दे रहा था सर, मैंने सिर्फ एग्जांपल दिया।
एग्जैक्टली। सो हर एक कंपनी के अपने प्रोसेसेस होते हैं, एंड जहां पे मैंने आपको जो 5 सेंसेस, कस्टमर टच पॉइंट, ये जो मैंने आपको बातें करी आज, ठीक है, यही डिफरेंशिएटर होती हैं। यही डिफरेंशिएटर होती हैं, बिकॉज जो कंपनीज इन पे फोकस करके काम करती हैं वो कंपनी आगे निकल जाती है, जो कंपनी इन पे फोकस करके काम नहीं करती है। एंड जहां तक एप्पल को जितना मैं जानता हूं, एप्पल हैज ऑलवेज बीन फिनोमिनल व्हेन इट कम्स टू कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस, बिकॉज फॉर देम कस्टमर जो बोलता है, इट इज नॉट ओनली अ कस्टमर का एक लाइन फीडबैक में क्या बोल रहा है, सिर्फ वो मैटर नहीं करता, बट ओवरऑल कस्टमर का अनुभव क्या रहा है वो ज्यादा मैटर करता है। एंड एप्पल उस ओवरऑल पर्सोना पे ज्यादा फोकस करता है। सब करते हैं, but the ownership also matters.
Sir, my question is like, what is the career growth in customer executive? Like, can we get a bigger package in this profile also? And if yes, then how? I mean, what we should do for that?
I'm sorry, who asked this question?
Yeah, Piyush this side.
Piyush. Okay. So Piyush, if I tell you about my journey, I started as a call center agent. All right. And from a call center agent, I moved up to senior manager training in the customer experience, sector. Okay. So the point is, when you talk about career growth, there is career growth, because the call center industry is a multi-million dollar industry. It is a very structured industry. That is the second thing. Okay. And the third thing is, it is a very performance demanding industry. This is critical. ठीक है, यहाँ पे growth आपको बैठे बैठे नहीं मिलेगी. Any individual who's working here is expected to perform. Okay, if you are a performer, sky is the limit for you. If you are a performer, you will get growth. Okay, but at times क्या होता है ना, कई बार लोग सोचते हैं, अरे मेरे को 6 महीना हो गया, मेरे को साल भर हो गया, मेरे को 3 साल हुआ, मुझे ग्रोथ नहीं मिली. You just can't expect growth with the time. कि मेरे को इतने साल हो गए तो मेरे को अब मैनेजर बन जाना चाहिए. नहीं, आपने इतने साल हो गए, आपने जो भी काम किया है, have you performed in alignment with the organizational growth? Because अगर आपने जो भी काम किया वो aligned to organization नहीं है, then your performance is not in the right direction. So performance is the key here, and I have witnessed this myself. I joined in 2003 as a call center executive. I came from my hometown. I'm not from Delhi. I moved to Delhi in 2002, and from there till 2015, I was operating as a manager, senior manager training, and I was traveling around the globe, for transitioning, training projects for my companies. So growth milega. The point is, are you ready to perform? And the performance is demanding.
Yeah, that is correct. What I have experienced is like it depends on the customers also. Like someone called me for query, I resolved him, and he is not satisfied with that query. I did my best, and there is some issue due to system some complexity or some other issue, but he would not understand that. He will understand like I'm not helping him, and there is I don't have everything in my hand so that I can help him the way he wants. Then he won't give a like 5-star rating or higher rating to me, and in that way it is very difficult to fulfill the company's requirement. Even though I'm working hard, I'm doing everything whatever they're expecting, still I'm not able to achieve that point. And also my second question, sir, is this, I mean, about the safety of the job. I mean, the customer executive job is that also safe like other jobs like IT and other technical jobs? The second, yeah.
So to answer your first, question, in a day, your performance is not determined just by 1 or 2 calls if they have gone bad. Understand one thing. This is Piyush only, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So your performance is not determined just by 1 or 2 calls going bad. In a day, how many calls do you take? If I talk about just numbers, in a day, you would take anywhere between 25 to 30 calls, let's say, on an average. Okay. Now, if in a day you are taking, let's say 20, 25 calls, all right, I understand, maybe 5%, 2% of your calls may not be good, but your other calls will be good, no? So I understand every day you get all very super happy, super delighted customers, not possible. But every day, all the calls you get very bad customers who give you 0 or 0.5 or 1 rating, that is also not possible. So when we talk about performance, it is not just performance on your bad calls, but it is also your performance overall. Now, if your performance is not going well overall for the month, all right, it is important to check why your performance is not going well. Okay. See, if it is a system issue, if it is a process issue, if it is a system issue, you tell the customer, I will call you back, after a few hours when my system is up and running, and then, I will resolve your problem. Tell the customer, take a follow-up action. Who's stopping you from taking an action? And after 2 hours or after 24 hours, whenever your system is up and running, call the customer back. Okay, sir, now my system is up and running and now I can fix your problem. The problem happens is when you tell the customer that my system is not running fine and I can't help you right now, the customer gets upset. Yaar, I called you to seek help and you're saying your system is down, so you can't help me. What can I do? और हम क्या करते हैं, हमारा टेप वहीं पे अटक जाता है. We keep saying, sorry sir, I apologize, I understand sir, but my system is not working. I understand sir, but my system is not working. We keep repeating that same statement again. और customer upset होके frustrate हो जाता है. Tell the customer the way out. Tell the customer, sir, right now my system is not working. All right, it is under maintenance. After 2 hours, we are hoping that it will work fine. So I will call you back after 2 hours. And if you are available, we will solve this problem then. And after 2 hours, call the customer back, inform him. So if your system has come back on, fix the customer's problem, customer will be happy. Because this kind of an action is a very rare kind of action in customer service industry. कस्टमर को क्या लगता है, एक बार फोन रखा ना फिर कोई नहीं कॉल करने वाला. कस्टमर का यही है. आप भी तो सी, कस्टमर इज नो एलियन माय फ्रेंड्स. यू एंड आई आर आल्सो कस्टमर्स, यस और नो. सो व्हेन वी कॉल कस्टमर सर्विस, we also get these kind of answers. So after 2 hours, call the customer back, fix the problem if your system is up and running. If it is still not, tell the customer, sir, mera system abhi bhi nahi start hua hai. The maintenance is still going on. I will call you tomorrow same time. Can I call you back? Customer says yes, no, whatever, do accordingly. So it is all about, the ownership that we are not able to, demonstrate or take, which is important. And coming to the security of the job, let me tell you, call center industry is going to stay here. The customer service industry is going to stay here. Okay, so it's not that the call centers will close down or the customer service industry close down. ITES is one of the multi-million dollar industry that is generating revenue after the IT industry. So wherever the services are there, the customer support is needed for it. So it is a secure job. It will become unsecure if you are not able to perform, and you are not able to perform for a long time. So then the company may ask you, sir, you have worked for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, but your performance is not improving. So we are sorry, we will not be able to continue with your service, which is a justifiable, reason on a company part as well, because for how long the company will keep investing in you. The company has been carrying you for 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, but if you're not improving, then it's a difficult task. It's not a sarkari thing, no yaar, ek baar pakad liya to 60 ke baad hi retire hoenge. It's not that. It's a performance demanding industry. So performance has to be given. We have to perform. And people who perform, there is no stopping in growth for them. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we are almost all right. So with Q&A, we have 15 minutes up. I'll take any one last question if any other questions are there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's wonderful session, sir. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, it
Irfan.
was full of knowledge. Yeah, thank you so much for this session. This was wonderful.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
सर
So
मेरा
if
एक
no
क्वेश्चन
more-
है. हेलो
Yeah. Who's this? Yes, go ahead.
सर, आशुतोष सिंगल दिस साइड. सर, अगर हमें कोई मतलब जैसे हम बीएपीओ में हैं, हम काम कर रहे हैं, हमें पता है कि कहते हैं हमें उस कस्टमर को कुछ बेचना है, वो फोन उठाएगा, हम बोलेंगे कि आपको क्या ये प्रोडक्ट खरीदना चाहते हो, वो फोन उठा दे काट देगा. वो तो उसमें क्या करना चाहिए? मतलब हमें कुछ अपना चीज बेचनी है, पर हमें ये पता है कि हम उसको फ्री में सैंपल नहीं दे सकते, हम उसको कुछ सैंपल ऐसे नहीं दे सकते कि वो चेक कर सके. वो उसको पैसे कस्टमर सोचेगा, कहते हैं ये तो ठीक है, कहते हैं कि ये जब बेच ही रहा है तो कहते हैं ये मुझे एक तो परेशान कर रहा है ऊपर से, कहते हैं मेरे नंबर कहाँ से मिल गया इसको. पहली बात तो ये है. और दूसरा क्या कहता है कि जब ये बेच ही रहा है और इसलिए मुझे मेरे से पोलाइटली बात कर रहा है, तो वो पसंद ही नहीं करते। मतलब ये बीपीओ का मामला नहीं है, ये तो ओवरऑल हर चीज का मामला है। अगर हम किसी से काम करवाना है,
करेक्ट। सो आपका क्वेश्चन मेरे को समझ नहीं आया, क्योंकि आप कहीं पे भी जाओगे, किसी भी सेक्टर में जाओगे, ऑलराइट, सो व्हेनेवर इट कम्स टू सेल्स, ऑलराइट, ये चाहे वो फेस टू फेस सेल्स हो, ओवर द फोन हो, ये सब जगह है, ऑलराइट। सो इट इज ऑल अबाउट हाउ यू आर पोजिशनिंग योरसेल्फ, ऑलराइट, एंड इसको डिस्कस करने के लिए एक अलग सेशन या एक अलग टाइम में हम कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज वी हैव टू गो डीपर इनटू इट टू अंडरस्टैंड। राइट नाउ टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, अभी आपके सवाल का जवाब देने के लिए मैं सिर्फ एक ही चीज कह सकता हूँ, ऑलराइट, देयर इज अ पर्सन, ओके, एंड देयर इज अ प्रोडक्ट, ठीक है। सो दोनों पीपी हैं, देयर इज अ पर्सन एंड देयर इज अ प्रोडक्ट, ओके। व्हाट यू वांट टू डू, आप क्या करना चाहते हैं, आप अपना प्रोडक्ट बेचना चाहते हैं, ठीक है। आपका सारा फोकस है प्रोडक्ट सेलिंग में, क्यों? क्योंकि आपका वो काम है। मैं सेल्स एजेंट हूं, मेरे को टारगेट दिया गया है, तो मेरे को प्रोडक्ट बेचना है, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट। आई नीड टू फोकस ऑन द पर्सन, okay, and indeed, so when you focus on the person, not every person will want to buy, so you need to focus on the person कि वो person लेना भी चाहता है या नहीं लेना चाहता। हम क्या करते हैं, हम हमारा प्रोडक्ट सबको बेचने की कोशिश करते हैं, वो नहीं होगा। And to understand it in detail, there is like a different training program on this, that if you ever interested, then you can contact the HR Sarthi team of HR, all right, so they can guide you on that.
थैंक यू सर।
Yeah. Okay, so I will pass it on to Shruti and Harita. Over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samson. That was a really good session. And, it's pretty evident from the comments and the questions that you've been getting from the attendees. I just want to quickly thank everyone who's joined us today. And I want you to also know that we've shared a feedback form link. Please do take a minute out of your time and send us your valuable feedback. In the form, we also ask you what kind of sessions would you like in the future. And we have these sessions specially culled out for you guys every week. So do stay in touch, and we have your contact. We will be sending out communication to you every week and informing you and giving you a chance to register for these very useful workshops. And there is also a link to the Sarathi website in the chat box. Do go on the Sarathi website and you can find the call center training course that we are offering for free right now. And there are also other employability courses that you can benefit from. Please do enroll and, use this to upskill yourself. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you, Samson.
Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, Vaishali, for signing this entire thing.
Yes,
Really
thank you
appreciate
so
your
much,
effort.
Vaishali. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And
All right.
thanks, Harita, for coordinating everything back and forth with me. Thank you so much, Harita.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Samson.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
सर आपकी ट्रेनिंग दिख रही है, आप बहुत अच्छे ट्रेनर हो।
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.